So I was going to ignore this story because I've already talked enough about sports in the last couple months, but then I thought, well, this really isn't about sports. Manti Te'o. This fucking guy, he's some college football star, sports hero as dubbed by some fucking news outlet, which by the way, two words that don't belong together. A hero is someone who saves a child from a burning building full of flame-retardant pedophiles, not someone who plays a fucking game. Anyway, last year, this hard luck story was going around where apparently Te'o's grandma and girlfriend died on the same day, and sports broadcasters cover this shit because a guy playing well isn't enough. Everything has to be a movie, like they're trying to make Rudy 2. Now, I had to reread this story to make sure they weren't saying his grandmother and his girlfriend were the same person. I was beginning to think that Hawaii was some sort of floating Arkansas. But that's not the case. They were two different people. Except one of them didn't exist. His grandma was real. She's dust or whatever now, but his girlfriend never existed. Manti Te'o started an online relationship with someone named Lene Kekua, who apparently developed leukemia and died. And along with his grandmother dying, it seemed like he's this tragic figure who's managed to overcome so much adversity and still find a way to drag other grown men down to the grass. But there was no Lene Kekua. It was all a hoax by some guy who admitted to it, named Ronaya Teyasosopo. Jesus fucking fuck. Does anyone have a pronounceable name in this story? I know that they're all Hawaiian, but is no one named Smith on that island? Anyway, the question I have about all this is, what year is this? Did we travel back to 1997 and Manti Te'o was a 35-year-old nerd, meeting women in chat rooms and exchanging ICQ numbers? Was his pickup line ASL? This fucking guy doesn't know how to use Skype or what? Apparently they talked on the phone. Rona, whatever the fuck, apparently does a great impersonation of a woman, but they never met face to face, and they never cammed. Manti Te'o originally claimed they met, then said he only did that because he thought his family would think he was crazy if he told them that he was in a serious relationship with a girl he never met. Of fucking course they would! I got nothing against online dating, as long as it eventually becomes offline dating. The normal type, where you meet someone who lives in the same city or close by, and you exchange a few messages over the web, and then you go to dinner or whatever, and hopefully you don't meet some Craigslist murderer. That's fine. This weird shit where people apparently dated someone halfway across the country, or in a completely different country, and they pretend to have dinner with each other, and they got married in EverQuest. I thought that shit was done. There was a time where that was a lot more common, before Facebook and Skype, before every laptop and phone came with a built-in webcam and broadband internet was cheap as hell. Now I'm sure there are still fuckers out there claiming they're in relationships who have never met, but at least they're probably getting naked on webcam for each other. They both know the person they're dating is a real person, and the girl's not actually a 45-year-old man with a greasy beard and a shirt that's more mustard than cotton, and the guy's not actually a 13-year-old boy who tried to fuck the vacuum cleaner last week. There's absolutely no excuse for Manti Te'o to not have known that this was a hoax within the first 2 fucking weeks. It never should have been considered a serious relationship. That's a person who needs psychological help. If someone told you, I'm in love with a Twitter account, you'd have him shipped off to the fucking loony bin. Don't get me wrong, Ronahara Teoa Cesspool or whatever his name is potentially qualifies for my Scumbags of the Internet series, except I don't ever want to have to try and pronounce his name again. Well, that's like saying you're not to blame if you send your bank information to that Sudanese prince who emails you to let you know he needs to use your account to store $50 million. People shouldn't be trying to fuck you over, but it's 2013. You should fucking know better. And some idiots try and tell you that being cynical is a negative quality. So Manti, hopefully you've learned your lesson. Maybe now you'll try out dating real women. Take it from me, it's a lot more fun. And once this blows over for you, you can finally get back to what you do best. Falling on top of other sweaty men for fun and eventually profit.